Good evening, viewers, those who are watching us from within Uganda and those who are watching us from abroad. We are glad you have made NTV your #1 station in this country. And we are also happy that People's Parliament is your favorite program. Of course, it is the only program in this country that gives wananchi a platform to speak about policies of government that affect them, to speak about issues in the community that affect them, to speak about development programs, and also to demand for service delivery from government. I am your speaker, Agnes Nandutu, and we are in Kween district. We are still in Kween district. We are going to discuss a very important topic that does not only affect the people of Kween, but a number of districts in this country, like districts of Karamoja, and also affects the globe internationally. It is FGM. That is female genital mutilation. Sometimes they call it female circumcision, but I think it is an understatement. It is a real mutilation. And as we celebrate the International Day of Zero Tolerance to female genital mutilation, we want to come out about this, the young people, the older people, even the surgeons who are doing it, even those ones who are hiding it, we want them to speak. Thank you, honorable members, for coming to NTV People's Parliament, the people of Kween. Clap for yourself. To me, it is, you call it culture, but it is a harmful culture, and it is really hurting our girls. So before we get the ball rolling, I want to call an official from the Ministry of Gender to give us a preamble of how bad this, how far we have fought it, and the challenges that we are facing. You're welcome, honorable member. I am giving you 3 minutes to package your preamble.
Honorable members of the People's Parliament of Kween, I have the honor this afternoon to join you and the rest of the world to celebrate the International Zero Tolerance Day for the practice of female genital mutilation. I'm giving just a preamble to spark off the discussion by the members of the Parliament and to bring to your attention that Kween is not the only area that practices female genital mutilation. In Uganda, our national prevalence is at 0.3%, but this is an improvement from 2011 when we were at 1.4%. Kween as a specific district is at 21%. It is lower than Buko, which is at 27%, and also lower than Kapchorwa, which is at 16%. It is lower than Amudat, which is at 43%, and lower than Moroto, which is at 52%, and lower than Nakapiripirit, which is at 49%. I'll explain why the focus is on Kween this time. There was an upsurge of female genital mutilation from December 2018 to around February 2019, and it was very shocking because we had been doing so well, and it came as a surprise to every stakeholder. More than 350 girls and women were cut, including those who had been considered to be outside the bracket, the women aged 45 years and above, including the married ones. So as stakeholders and as a ministry in charge of the fight for the human rights of women, we felt it necessary to strengthen our efforts once again, but specifically to come and have a discussion with you through this parliament chaired by Honorable Madam Speaker Nandutu, so that together we can agree on how to reverse the trend, because for sure we are doing badly. And we are doing badly at a time when we believe as government that we have done all we can. This year, we are commemorating the day under the theme of unleashing the youth potential. We are focusing on the young people. They are the people where majority of the cuttings take place, and we believe engaging them at this particular point in time will enable us to make even longer strides.
Okay.
We also look forward to engaging the other stakeholders that we have historically engaged, especially the elders, the cultural institutions, the faith-based organizations, and of course, through our arm, the local government, particularly through the Community Services Department, which represents the gender function at the local government level.
Okay, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Member from the Ministry of Gender. From UNICEF, our partners.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member of People's Parliament, my name is Irene Ayot. I'm representing UNICEF. I'll just compliment on what government has said from the Ministry of Gender. Today, 6th of February, Uganda and the rest of the world will remember the promise that we made to make sure that female genital mutilation is at 0 by the year 2030. We do appreciate and understand that this has been a practice that has been for so long, but we also appreciate the fact that it has been a practice that has been depriving a sector of people their right to development processes, more especially the girls and the women that are in the spaces that practice that. Today's theme is Unleashing Youth Power, 1 decade of acceleration for 0 female genital mutilation by 2030. This theme recognizes the active and the role of young people in development processes, but in particular in accelerating the target that we have set for ourselves by 2030. By 2030, we want to see the world saying we do not have children, women that are suffering from the effects of female genital mutilation. At global status, there are about 30 countries that are recognized as practicing the practices. For Uganda, we are at less than 0, at less than 1%. We are at 0.3, as the status will tell us, but as Annette already informed us, in the particular region, the 6 districts, we have the rate at 27%. That is high, and we hope that by the next time we do an evaluation, we are at completely 0. We are saying culture is good, culture is our identity, but the culture that prevents others from participating fully to grow to their full potential is bad, and we need to get rid of that. And I beg you that we'll come together, join hands with young people this year, throughout this year. Today is just the starting point, as we discussed, but we will continue the conversation throughout the year to see how best do we involve each other to make sure that Uganda, we get on the map to say 0 FGM in this country. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Irene. Now the ball is in your court. 0 tolerance to female genital mutilation. I want to hear from the senior citizen, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Welcome.
For giving me this chance.
Just move
the issue of female genital mutilation, of course, was a culture in our district here. As a Bay, we have been doing it with women and men. And of course, you already know, Madam Speaker, you come from Bugisu, and you already know when Kadodi is there, it is so good, and it is people attract everybody. But that is male
circumcision, which is biblical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it was also ours. Ours also was very interesting. And people could come. It brings people from various places. They meet their relatives and all that. But of recent, we have accepted with the government that we eliminate this circumcision, the genital mutilation of the girls. And we have done this. It is now about over 20 years making these campaigns. And I'm sure the percentage has come down so much. There are only some other few things which still make these people maybe to continue. I know the percentage is almost to 1%. A few of them are doing it because, one, they are frustrated with other issues. For example, we have been told that up that way, the roads are not good, movements cannot be there, and of course, people are not properly settled. So some of them do it in order to force government or to inform government that you should also think of us to bring the schools, make the roads, and make all these things.
So those who are still doing it are doing it in protest?
In a protest, because they want these things to be done. And government to understand it, they should come, our government should come in, and then they make the roads, they build the schools, the dispensaries, and all these things. But otherwise, right now, our people don't want it, particularly those who are educated. Many of our girls who are educated are not going for that.
Okay.
And then secondly,
and lastly,
lastly, we are organizing the cultural institution in Sabey. This cultural institution has not been there, and this is done by the people, the older persons. And they do it together with the clans people around, and all those are elderly. And if this cultural institution comes in, it will have to educate everybody, and they will go to their clans and they go to the ground, and they will make sure that this mutilation will not be done.
Okay.
So we are asking government also to speed up, because we are working already with the government. There are certain issues which we have not yet finished, but soon that institution will come and they will go down and they will make sure that this genital mutilation will not continue.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you, senior citizen. Please go ahead, Honorable Member.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I am by name Chemtai Beatrice. I represent Moyok and Kween sub-counties, where FGM is seriously done in that area. Actually, Madam Speaker, FGM in my sub-county, but generally in our district. In Kween sub-county last year, 6 women were circumcised, and when we went there, we asked them, why are you bringing back this issue of circumcision? Then these women were telling us that now, since we left circumcision, up to date, we have not benefited anything. Even our children are not taken to school. The government are not even caring of us. They are not paying even our girls. So we have just decided to be circumcised. So, Madam Speaker, this is a serious issue in that sub-county. It is bordering Bukwa and also the downer side.
Okay. So
my appeal is that why can the government build or construct a school there in a place called Kapoigoi, that is the parish or the sub-county where those women were circumcised. Then the other thing is that you can find that the government pledged the other time that girls will be helped. And up to today, you find that we already have Kwasil girls, and that school is being paid by the parents. So at times
it was supposed to be free education.
They said free. I think so. Parliament.
Mr. RDC, even the chairman talked about the school. It was constructed purposely for the girls to access education such that they avoid the female genital mutilation. Why are they paying school fees?
The issue around here is about interpretation. The Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda saw this region hard to reach, and therefore saw it important that the victims who are girls be given a girls' school. It is in some quotations the terms of how the school is supposed to survive, but did not come out clear to say that to be purely free for these girls. It is not documented anywhere, but this is an appeal that these would wish to be. But we are well aware that there are so many amenities that require a school to run. And if the government's funding is not enough, because the funding of Kosir girls is the same funding for Tegeres, is the same funding for Toro girls, there is need to have an input from the parents. But it is upon the parents and people of Kween here to do a lot of lobbying to see that
How
Kween
much money
specifically.
are they paying? Excuse me, Aradis. How
Yes,
much money
please.
are they paying?
They are paying about 247,000 around there.
And what is it for?
Yeah, it caters for example, feeding, power, security, water, and some of those services that are required in the school. That's the information I have.
But the appeal of the people of Kween that it was supposed to be a universal secondary
you
school.
can look at a boarding school, and I don't know anywhere where government is providing money for feeding in a boarding school. So it is upon the leaders of Kween to say, in addition to the grants given, can we have the government provide money for food,
They are
money
now
for
sending the
electricity,
RDC to
yes,
lobby
please.
for it. They are sending the RDC. You are the president, his representative.
Yeah, I'm getting information now.
Okay.
But they should not say the government has not fulfilled, because it has not been there in the pledge of government.
Okay, thank you. Please come and give information.
Take me like example. Mine is already circumcised because I'm old. Eh? So
is circumcised?
because now I tell mine, when you are not circumcised, will not stay with me. So we want also to finish ladies, then we put next boys.
Okay, now what the honorable member is saying that we have not brought boys on board to say that FGM is bad, because they are the ones who say if you are not circumcised, I will not marry you. UNICEF, I want some clarification. Some clarification from UNICEF or Ministry of Gender.
We actually have a male involvement strategy for addressing gender-based violence, and female genital mutilation is one of the worst forms of gender-based violence. We have only been able to disseminate it to the technical officers at the district local governments, but we are also advocating as a national machinery for more resources so that our local governments can be supported to reach out to the communities effectively. So male involvement is one of our best practices, but resource
But have you,
constraints-
is it on board? Have you brought them on board to fight this vice?
Yes, what we expect our community services department to do is to operationalize the male involvement strategy.
So, this gentleman has made a very good point, that until we bring the boys on board, not to force the girls they are marrying into circumcision, we might be hitting a hard rock. So, as the Speaker of People's Parliament, I also make an appeal to our men and boys that please, the uncircumcised women are better than the circumcised one. Thank you. Go ahead.
Pastor Mawa, representing the faith-based organizations. Thank you. In the Bible, in the Gospel of the letters of Galatians chapter 5, verses 3, chapter 6, verses 15, it talks of circumcision, but circumcision not made by human hands, circumcision of the heart. So that is actually character and behavior what? Change. So it says that it has nothing to do with God. It has nothing. It has no spiritual, divine spiritual significance.
So for you have been advocating for zero tolerance to
We have been
FGM.
advocating for
how many years now?
For over 30 years.
Wonderful. Clap for him.
Most of you can bear that witness.
Let me hope your woman has not been circumcised.
Okay, although my woman, myself. Okay, we also have...
So your woman is a victim?
My woman is a victim.
Oh,
the woman of my apostle is a victim, and they were not ready for it, but they were forced. Some of these girls are so spiritually disempowered. So I want to appeal to the parents to send your children right from the Sunday school. then ensure that they are wedded, not to be pulled by some of these pharaohs.
Okay,
So
thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you. That is a word from the man of God. For them as Christians, faith-based leaders, they're saying zero tolerance to female genital mutilation. Let's go for a short break. NTV People's Parliament comes back shortly. Yes, welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, judged by none other than your speaker, Agnes Nandutu. We are in Kween District, speaking about female genital mutilation. As you are aware, we are celebrating the International Day of Zero Tolerance to FGM. And we want to say no to FGM. By 2030, we want our communities to be free of female genital mutilation. Please, 2 minutes for you.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Honorable members, I am called Barishak Roger. I work with Elgon Radio. I want to share my experience. I have been to the ground, so deep to the ground. We have had community radios with different organizations. We have had, community radios with the Reproductive Health, Uganda Human Rights Commission. But then, I wanted us to be so real in this campaign. A lot of sensitization has been done to the grassroots. We have the law in place, which is very harsh. But then we all witnessed last year, the cutting was done at the watch of the police. When the police wanted to intervene, they even wanted to cut the policewoman. So I wanted us to be very real and pose this question to each and everybody who is present today. That what is it that has not been done to end this practice?
What do you think has not been done, young man?
Sorry?
What do you think has not been done?
Now, you talked of the minister yesterday talked about allocation of monies. Money has been, actually, there is a lot of money which has been on ground, okay? But still, this is a sign that money alone cannot end this practice. We have had scenarios whereby a person is given a charm and just ends up into the practice. Now, money is here, the charm is here. What role is the money going to play? Of course, what role is the money going to play to end this practice? Now, let's talk about the leaders. We have been having a team from Parliament. We have been having, we have different leaders at different levels, but it is very rare to find a leader speaking about FGM. And these are people who have a very wide following. They have a following on ground. But
they don't want to speak against FGM.
No, it is very rare.
Is that true, Honorable Member of Parliament?
We have had...
Let's give him, you are accusing a person who is here. We have been told that you politicians don't want to speak against FGM. Is that true?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is not true that we don't want to talk about FGM. Me personally, everybody saw I talked about it in Parliament. Even during that time when there was an upsurge of FGM on our girls, I talked from all over, all the gatherings, public gatherings, including the burials, the marriage ceremonies, and actually in Parliament, I even said how this thing is happening. Even we took the issue to the Committee of Equal Opportunities, and I expressed it properly. It has been coming in the social media. So it is not true that all of us don't talk about FGM, but of course he is right, some of us don't talk about FGM. That's also correct. Some of us don't talk about FGM, but not all of us don't talk about FGM. Thank you.
For political reasons.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to inform the Speaker that the political leaders are the ones who spearheaded all this process, that we have a law in place that you are talking about. So they don't fear. They came up, they made laws when we are still in Kapchorwa as a district, from Kapchorwa, Kween to Bukwa. So political leaders came forward and they said no to FGM. They generated the policy right from the sub-counties, from the villages to the sub-counties to the district council and to parliament.
Okay.
So where you say the political leaders fear, no.
I wanted to challenge the honorable member. Now, what has made this campaign also to become very difficult is the people on ground say that we're not sensitized. So I don't know what kind of consultation she's talking about. Because that has been the challenge. The people still say we were not sensitized when that, I mean.
Okay, so there is need for sensitization.
Yes, please.
I have seen let the officer give, let me have something from the officer first.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm Cherotich Doreen, attached to Child and Family, Kween CPS. I'm now 2 months old, from Ginger to Kween. Madam Speaker, FGM has brought divorce in Kween district. There's a case I handled whereby a man reported FGM upon his wife. This is a man who is UPDF. He's working in Kampala. But I think it had taken a long time by us coming home. When he reached home, he found when the woman was already circumcised. So the woman left immediately when the husband arrived. And up to today, the woman is at her parents. So far I have 2 cases in my office of divorce, just because of FGM. Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Speaker.
you.
Madam Speaker, I would like to say that, you know, when you trace the origin of Sabine, are children of Ham. And they are way back from Ethiopia and Egypt. When during those times, 425 BC.
Speak straight to the people, please.
The Pharaoh was using their slave girls through cutting, female genital mutilation to prevent them from getting pregnant, because there are about 4 types of FGM. There's the one cutting the clitoris. There's the one which is second. There's the one with the clitoris and labia minora, and the third one, you cut all of them. That is a clitoris, labia minora, and majora, and the others are piercing. But when you trace these people, they were from that area. And therefore, the cultures enter, they are now in blood. And therefore, when you look at them, they practice this male in men. We need to target them. There's a notion people are saying that there was adequate sensitization. To me, there's inadequate sensitization, which we need to go to the community. There are many issues we have been seeing at the health facilities, ranging from clots, pain, hemorrhages, and complication. Even delivery becomes a challenge. And there are many silent issues women are undergoing without being spoken out. Therefore, the recommendation which I need is that if the government can increase the funds for sensitization to these people in the lower levels, we are able to achieve something more tangible.
Okay.
Because another issue is that the dangers of HIV/AIDS. As you cut somebody, eventually you can transmit HIV. This HIV era, many women and young children have been testifying this. I contracted this. I didn't have HIV/AIDS, but because of this. So that's a very big problem. Secondly, tetanus. Tetanus has no cure, and it's a deadly disease. If it is contracted, you die. There's no cure.
Okay.
Like hepatitis B or hepatitis C. The hepatitis generally has no cure. But therefore, if someone is succumbed to a disease, you find that if someone is losing life, of what use? When you
Some
practice,
of them become disabled.
Yeah, disabled. Of what use when you really encourage genital mutilation and you circumcise your woman and succumb to HIV or tetanus? then eventually dies, what benefit do you get?
I know. Thank you.
I am Chebeneli from Kween Sub-County, a student of Koru Secondary School. What I want to put on is that FGM is doing more harm than good. Because for this case, it leads to poor management of young children. Because when this process is taking place, a lot of resources are being wasted for this other program, which is giving nothing or gaining us nothing as students. To study will be a problem because all the resources have been wasted. Then that's the time when children will end up dropping out from school. Another thing is that physiological torture. When the child is growing up, and then he or she, when she is there, she is ready to, or she fears that, what can I do? Because if you have not yet been mutilated, then you will be nowhere. Even the parents will send you out, which leads the children to get out of home, then they just live in a miserable life. So we need to say zero tolerance to FGM for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm called Lucy Chebet, representing Town Council / SASA. In front of you here, I'm a traumatist lady, and I used to go talk to people in the villages about FGM mutilation. For truth, cutting ladies is something which is not good, is unfair to us. Because like me, I'm a drama lady. I used to go to the villages and we talk effects of cutting ladies. And sincerely, even those people in the villages accept and say, cutting really is something is unfair because it reaches like 35 years or 36 or 40. You find a lady starting refusing his husband. Tutu, yes, cut the system where yes, it can. Yes, somewhere which is very sensitive. Secondly, our husbands, which has married us, really, some of them force us for mutilation. They used to take us there in the hills and cut us preferably. And again, the problem is on our side. You may end up by bleeding and you collapse or you die. Sad, when you are giving birth, you really feel pain. Okay, anyway, I was supposed to be one of victims, but because since I was growing in my priorities, I worked in family planning when I was very young, through just trauma. I escaped, I go to Langwa, I was married from there, I escaped because of cutting. I was not accepting to cut myself because most of my friends told me effect of cutting ladies.
So you are aware that these people are removing the most sensitive part?
Yes, the main point. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Thank you. Have you had men? I think, can men clap for her, please? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Order! Silence in the House, honorable members.
And the caucus house.
Move closer to the microphone, honorable.
I'm called Honorable Chalangat Sophie, District Councillor representing Benet Sub-County. The three sub-counties, that is Benet, Kaseko, and Kamnarugu Town Council. Madam Speaker, I want first of all thank you very much for the program. And also I want to thank this government of NRM for all the developments they have done to us in Kween district. Madam Speaker, what we have realized from the Greater Benet, that is about the 6 sub-counties in the Greater Benet, the major root cause of FGM in the Greater Benet, Madam Speaker, is about the unresettlement of the people of Benet by the government. Now those families, they were surviving by selling milk and taking their children to school. So, as I talk now, Those parents, they don't have land to graze the animals. When they take they take the animals to the forest, they are chased by the UA. So that's why we have a lot of dropouts of school in my sub-county, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
And because of that dropout of school, the FGM now continue up to now. Madam Speaker, another
Okay,
thing.
because of time constraints, I will give you another opportunity. The ladies have spoken that FGM is bad and we should get rid of it. The men you have heard and the ladies have heard. Let's go for a short break and TV People's Parliament comes back shortly. Yes, welcome back. You are still watching your favorite program, NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Kween District, talking about or talking against female genital mutilation as we commemorate the day, the International Day of Zero Tolerance to FGM. Please, you have 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Shirley Monjoan. Actually, for us as young people, we've been facing a lot of problems as in FGM is concerned. The first thing is school dropout. Many actual girls that are being mutilated, they are not educated. Most of them, but most people who are educated, at least they're those ones that are not what? They don't go for their practice. And the second, actually, I'm very happy of the other lady, the other woman there. When she was talking about when you're circumcised, you lack some feelings. That's the truth. If you compare a mutilated woman and the one who is not mutilated, you can see some difference. Like for us, Auntie, we started from Kampala, and you Bagandas, I don't know if we have Bagandas here. Bagandas pull because they want what? They want to be like, they have feelings, they want to get feelings. But for us, we cut. Why?
And I am told the origin of this female genital mutilation is the Sabine people, when they were going for war, they did not want their women to do otherwise. But now there is no war. Why should you continue with such a culture?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Benjamin Sabila. I work for the Center for Domestic Violence Prevention. Our contribution, we work here in Kween, and we are helping people to understand that FGM is a power issue. It is something that men use to control women. But also number two is to tell the women to talk about the consequences of FGM. It is not enough for us to stand here and say, FGM is bad. It is important to ask them, what happened to you? You've heard the ladies have been saying, it is no longer sweet. It's no longer sweet. And that is a consequence. So it's important for us to engage the community on what is the goodness of FGM. And once they understand that there is nothing good, then FGM will stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me tell this August House that FGM is no longer a culture, but this is a style now. Let me answer a question that somebody said.
Is it a modern style?
It is a modern style whereby the girls that have dropped out of school and those who are married, who drop out of their marriages, come together and I don't know how they discuss this thing. Yeah? They come together and get their surgeon, they dance and get mutilated. But this is a style in a way that we, the men, will want that one, that is what? Mutilated, compared to the other one, what? That is not mutilated.
That is what you want?
It is a kind of maybe a modern prostitution.
And you support it? You like it?
I don't support it, but it's a practice that we don't want. So my appeal to the government, the president initiative, is to build more vocational schools so that these ladies that have dropped out of school or the ones that have dropped out of their marriages are taken there and they are skilled.
Okay.
In a way, we shall overcome the vice.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have the lady? Can I have you for 1 minute?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Chelanga Dorcas, still from Ngenge. I wanted to iron out the issues, the causes of reoccurrence of FGM in Kween. Madam Speaker, in Kween, illiteracy is still a challenge. Most of our communities are still illiterate. Why? As you have heard, as the government is planning for every parish to have a primary school and every sub-county to have a secondary school, that is vice versa. In Kween, we have a constituency, or a proposed constituency in Kween, whereby we're having 4 sub-counties without even 1 mere secondary school. How do you expect a girl to continue with her education? 2, another thing, the reason of reoccurrence is that when FGM was eliminated, there was nothing which we were given to replace it. I think that's the reason why this thing is still reoccurring. We don't have the right of pass. Because as a Sabine woman, or as a Sabine girl, when you are grown up, after a certain age, you are supposed to get married. But if you get married, maybe you are not taught. There was a way, after circumcision, there is a way whereby those mentors were mentoring girls. You were mentored as a woman. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you are supposed to do. Maybe you must respect your husband. Maybe you cook for your husband in such and such a manner. I think those are the challenges whereby our girls are being forced into circumcision by their husbands.
Members, if we are still romancing FGM, then it's not going to end. My suggestion in a meeting we sat with most of the stakeholders, I requested these people that we should shift meetings of FGM from hotels to villages. I remember I was almost pushed out of the meeting. I told them, why should we keep rotating in meetings in Noasak 10, 15 times without an answer? We had said we want all clan chairpersons for all the clans to come up with a strategy that they are going to be given money to go and talk to their clan members as the smallest unit in this community, so that the smallest unit in the community is able to tell his or her daughters that please do not go through FGM. And the other thing we had resolved as a cultural institution, Madam Speaker, was we are going to have all the clan leaders in the meeting agree on rules and regulations. If your daughter as a clan chairperson is circumcised, you are excommunicated from the cultural institution. So that now the custodian of FGM should be now on you, the clan chairperson, and your daughters. Not using third parties given 500 million, spending hotels in budgets, and at the end of the day, we are still recycling FGM every day.
Okay, thank
Madam
you.
Speaker, let me wind up by this
Thank
point.
you. Time is up.
The last point, alternative
Time
rights of
is
passage.
up.
I am
I
just
want to
giving
give an
information on
opportunity to another
alternative
person.
rights of passage.
Please, could you?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Gugu Emmanuel, a student from Kakwata Senior Secondary School, representing Pani sub-county.
Order, honorable members.
That female genital mutilation have done harm, done good. These are the following views that have made such applications. 1. Female genital mutilation leads to when girls are mutilated, there will be overbleeding, and if the girl is cut, it might cut with some blood vessels, thereby leading to overbleeding, and the child may end up just dying. Another one is that circumcision of girls leads to early marriages. This is when your girl is circumcised, she will say, I am now mature, I am adult, I am not still a child. It means that she or she believes that we are just celebrating from childhood to adulthood.
Okay.
Thus, she just going to be married when he's still very young.
Thank you. 1 minute, honorable member. May I have UNICEF?
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Stephen. I represent people with disabilities in this district. What I have to speak today is about how do we stop FGM. One, we need our parish chiefs and also to give reports to sub-counties, status of people who are poor in the villages And the government need to come up with a policy to help those people who are poor, especially girls who are poor in villages, instead of wasting a lot of money in hotels. We have a prostitute girls, the government gave that school to help girls who are poor, but now they're paying money. So I'm saying that the government need to come up with, to support these poor girls.
So you want completely free education in that school?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
That point has been taken. Please wind up in 1 minute, UNICEF.
A little bit on clarity and reaction to the former speaker, former speaker about meetings in workshop. I want to let the Honorable House here understand and appreciate that there are different levels of actions, sensitization. There is the national, actually at international, because today, as we commemorate, it's a day that every other person beyond Uganda is commemorating and thinking about what are the issues, what are our milestones, how far do we still need to go. So you have meetings at international level, regional levels. AU has taken up this FGM as a critical concern for when we talk about issues in relations to women's rights. Uganda has been really participating right at national level to regional level, regional meaning the Sebei and the Karamoja region. And we have been also doing community dialogues. Community dialogues meaning different people, different stakeholders, the elders, the faith-based, the children, the people in school. It has been in different places. So I want us to appreciate the fact that there will be meetings in different places for different purposes, and we need to appreciate. And when we are called, like today we have been called, and this is part of the meetings that we organize for different people at different times. So maybe we take note of those that are happening at the hotel, and we probably forget those that are happening at the community. But I beg that we participate at all those different levels.
Thank you. So in a nutshell, that you have meetings in hotels, but also you have community sensitization. Thank you, honorable members. Because of time constraints, we cannot continue. I know the people of Kween, if you allow them to speak, they will speak until the cows come back home. But I would like to thank you for being part of this parliament. It has been very exciting, and the call is, please, zero tolerance to FGM. We want our communities to be free of FGM. Thanks for coming in big numbers. Those who have been watching us from wherever you are, thanks for being part of this parliament. You have heard the people of Kween. They are doing everything to ensure that they get rid of female genital mutilation. I am your speaker, Agnes Nandutu, and I aspire to inspire all Ugandans before I expire. With powers conferred upon me as the Speaker of People's Parliament, I adjourn this House until next Saturday.